Man, I need to come to y'all's houses this week. I didn't grow up like I grew up with having Turkey Day and all that kind of stuff. But my mom was never a throwdown cook, and I'm not
Mm.
saying that. Some people say, "Oh, that's an insult to your mom." No, my mom, if she was here, would tell you point blank, "No, that's not my skill set." So it's all good though. It's all good. It's not about just the food, but the food's nice to have, right?
Amen.
Um, but so thinking about that, so I'll come back to you, Adeline, about that on as far as food goes.
Yeah.
What's your favorite side for Thanksgiving? Not main dish, because everybody's got their turkey, their ham, or whatever.
Right.
What's your favorite side dish?
So it's interesting because again, growing up in this kind of like adopted, we're adopting American culture. My aunt was usually the point person who was in charge of turkey, right? But of course, not everybody was into turkey, dark meats or what have you. So I'm gonna give a kind of cop out answer. I'm not gonna lie to you, because it's technically a main dish, but it's a soup. So it's pozole, which is
Oh,
really
I love pozole.
it's
Oh.
basically Mexican pork and hominy stew, or like soup.
Mm-hmm.
It's red chilies, stewed for a couple hours. Pork, which just becomes super tender. You got some oregano in there, and it's brilliant. It's a special
Delicious,
occasion
man.
because it's something you don't, it's time consuming, and but the end result is it's such perfection. You eat it with tostadas. You put some lemon, you put some
Mm,
cabbage on it, some radish just some toppings on it, and oftentimes that meal in of itself becomes breakfast the next
mm,
day,
Mm-hmm.
becomes lunch the next day, becomes, you can draw it out a couple of days, and you will not get tired of that.
And it's even better the second and third day.
You know,
nice.
That's
you
the
know what you're
key.
talking about.
Yeah,
Yes.
man, because one restaurant I ran for a number of years in particular, we always had to be open. So holidays included, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all of it. It was the worst. I hated it, but I loved my staff. And in the back of the house, in the kitchen, my home, my people, uh, a couple of our prep cooks for Thanksgiving would make pozole. And they showed me how to make it.
Mm,
It was
nice.
delicious.
Nice, man. That sounds good. I need to try that for sure, for sure.
Hmm.
All right, so Adrian, then we gotta come to you. What's your favorite side dish? So, for anybody out there who doesn't know, he just talked about running restaurants. Dude can cook.
Yeah.
So he needs to have his own show on Food Network or something. I don't know. Suplex Dinner Club may need to have a dinner club show. So
Considering.
yeah. So Adrian, talk to us and what's your? I have two questions for you. What's
Yeah.
your favorite side dish to eat
Hmm.
and your favorite side dish to cook?
Ah.
Oh, I like that. Okay, so favorite side dish to eat for sure. Macaroni and cheese. You
Mm,
can't beat it. It's the goat side dish possible, in my opinion.
mm,
And the only thing about it is it can only be made by one person in my family. Although others try to make it, you walk up, you got all your food on the table or whatnot, your little buffet line, and you walk by the macaroni and cheese and just doesn't look like
mm-hmm.
that doesn't look like Aunt Jennifer's macaroni and cheese. So you gotta lock eyes with a family member that's like, yeah, that's not your Aunt Jennifer's. It's like, all right, so we're gonna skip over that one. So that's my favorite to eat. My favorite to make, and this is largely in due to my grandmother. Rest in peace. Sweet potato pie.
Mm, mm, mm.
She always made the best sweet potato pie. I know that's a dessert, y'all. I know that's not a side, but damn it, I'm a big boy and I like the sweet potato pie. Once she passed, then I said, I got to figure out how to make this and make it as good as hers. So that's my favorite to make because it just brings back memories of her always making her own little side pie for me to take back to Tuskegee for school
Mm.
and
Oh
stuff like that.
man.
So, that's my favorite to make.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I'll say for a side dish, I gotta go mac and cheese. But so
Yeah.
I gotta go back though. Keep in mind, I grew up in a specific type of household
Okay.
with a mom who didn't cook. So I grew up on Kraft Blue Box. And when I mean I grew up on Kraft Blue Box, I didn't put There was no salt and pepper in it because some people can doctor up a salt
Right,
Kraft,
right, right.
a
You
little
can
Easy
dress it
Mac or
up.
something.
Yeah.
No, no, my mom was straight up boom, right? And I loved it until I got with certain people, and then I started dating certain people,
Mm-hmm.
and then I started to get wait there there there's this like I felt abused. Like I look back at my parents and I was like, this is like mental abuse. This is not like I felt like, I didn't know if me and my mom could be friends anymore. Like this is what you did to me. I missed out on this for like 18, 20 years. Are you kidding me?
Right.
And then, like you said though, like I'm the type of person that I love mac and cheese. Almost all of it. Because bad mac and cheese is still pretty decent.
It
But I've had
is.
I've had some really bad mac and cheese. But you get around the right ones who put a little bit of creaminess and a little bit of different types of cheese or oh man, dude,
Eggs.
come on. I mean, and you see different styles and different things they do to it. But I will tell this one story because they ain't watching anyway. I went to my in-laws' house. Now I'll be clear. It was not the in-laws that cooked it. It was one of the cousin's husband's mom. So kind of technically not even family. Like
Mm.
you distant. You just here because you married in, right? They brought some mac and cheese, bro. They had some Kraft singles on top.
Ooh.
I'm like,
Oh
to
man.
Thanksgiving. So here's the thing, you brought it to Thanksgiving? Not just like a family get together, not just like some random barbecue. You brought this. This is like high pressure time.
For
Like
sure.
to me, the mac and cheese needs to be more on point than the turkey because the turkey can be dried out. People be like, oh, there's ham, right? Mac and cheese, people looking forward to it.
That's a
And
fact.
then you're going to get your feelings hurt because you're going to come up with this big pan. And then one of the aunts came up with their big pan. And it was like a taste test. But when you throw some Kraft singles on top, you're done. You're
Yep.
done.
It's
You
over.
don't even get tried. Like you just
Oh.
got set to the side.
Yep.
And she went home with a whole pan of stuff. And I remember my wife was like, "You gonna try this?" No. It got
No.
Kraft singles. My mom didn't even put no Kraft singles on top, man. So And it was, but the other mac and cheese was banging. But man, I just love mac and cheese. I love trying different kinds of mac and cheese. Like you said, like there's that one that you just always like, man, that's awesome. But this one over here may not be quite as awesome, but it's good. And then
Right.
the other one may not. And like my wife and I would talk about it sometimes. She's like, that's not good. I said, it's good. It's not yours. It's not your mom's. It's not your aunt's, but it's still good. But
Mm.
I got to this one story. We had a potluck um, at work, and this one white boy was bringing some mac and cheese. First off, you're a white boy. So I told him, look, I'm gonna give you an out. Like you ain't got to bring it. Other people prepared. You just don't. He said, "No, man, I got you. So I'm promising you. don't, don't do it. Just don't. I don't want you to be embarrassed."
Right.
He's like, "No, bro, I got this. I got this." I'm like, he a little redneckish too. So I was kind of like, "All right." And he brought it. And it was
Know how
banging.
to
But
cook.
I mean, I was
Yeah.
like, "Dude, this is pressure. You coming into work. Like you're not gonna live this down. This is worse than being in a family." But yeah, mac and cheese is where it's at.
If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, and of course, look us up on socials at Suplex Dinner Club. And be sure to check out our other projects. We talk college football on Dogs versus All Y'all. That's a weekly college football podcast where we don't just talk about the Georgia Bulldogs, we talk about all things college football. The Life and Times Pod, which is short for the Life and Times of a Restaurant Lifer podcast, where I have some chill conversations with some cool and interesting people that I've met in my years in the hospitality industry. And of course, check out Talk 'em in the Building. That's a pro wrestling podcast where we solely focus on the promo. We talk about the talkers, we hype the hype man, and we pontificate on the promo. It's a fun project, and if you're a pro wrestling fan, I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. The Suplex Dinner Club family is growing, and I would love for you to be a part of it.